Oh, well, I know a lot of us are coming from work, coming from other things of life. So let's go ahead and just get dived in. Um, my name is TJ. We're here for our Vet Tech Info session. We're so excited to talk with all of you, share a little bit more about our program, share a little bit about the amazing things we have going on here at Learn Academy. But first, we have a few things to cover. First and foremost, this Zoom room is a safe space, just like our classroom. And we're here to promote a spirit of inclusivity and make sure that we're all warming, welcoming, friendly, and patient. We ask that all of us be respectful, and we also ask that you to participate and engage throughout the presentation. This presentation is designed to look just like our classroom, and engagement is really important. So we ask that all of you turn on your cameras, activate your chat fingers. We're all going to be participate. If you have any questions, please, we want to ask all of them, but we're going to be a little bit engaging in this presentation. So we ask that all of you participate. It's going to be a little bit of fun. But first, we're going to start with check-in. Check-in is something that we do every single day in the classroom. It's the way we start all of our days. And it's a great way for us to just break the ice, get to know each other, and get the day started. So first and foremost, we're going to introduce, I would like all of you who are here, please introduce yourself in the chat. One of the amazing things about our program is that we are remote. So we have people coming in from all across the United States. So we'd love to hear, where are you coming from? Where are you at? And then, what was your favorite TV show growing up? So I know all of you may be reminiscing, nostalgia, something probably comes to your head. What was it? So to get this started, we'd love to share some of the amazing team members that we have at Learn. We have an awesome staff. We're all here. Well, most of us are here. So we're going to get excited. We're going to popcorn around. We're going to introduce ourselves, introduce some of us, and we'll go ahead and answer some of these questions ourselves. So I'll kick us off. My name is TJ. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Learn. I'm from San Diego, born and raised, just like we're headquartered here. And my favorite TV show growing up, this is kind of an odd one, but it's what was called The Cowboys of Moo Mesa. It was like these cows that lived on a ranch and they were cowboys. It was a really cool show. I don't know why, but it was just one of my favorite shows. But it's not around anymore. And I'll pass it off to Sarah.
Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I live in San Diego, and my favorite TV show when I was a kid was Full House. Pass it over to Chantel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chantel. I am the Internship Program Manager here at Learn Academy. I also live in San Diego, but I promise not all of us do. And my favorite TV show when I was a kid, the one that came to mind is an oldie. It was Hogan's Heroes. It was like the one with like the POWs, and it's a comedy, and oh my gosh, it was great. Hogan's Heroes it's the one that's coming to mind. I'm sure I have others, but there we go. I'm gonna popcorn to Kumba.
Thank you, Chantel. My name is Kumba. I am the Alumni Success Manager. I live here in San Diego as well. My favorite TV show growing up was Captain Planet. He's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. I love that show. I'm gonna pass it over to Vanessa Nuno.
Hey everyone, I'm Vanessa Nuno. My role here at Learn is the operations manager. So I really help students kind of come into this space and do all of the crazy things we have to do to get you guys prepared for the cohort. I live here in San Diego. Favorite show growing up, the first one that came to mind was Friends, for sure. But I think my favorite was actually Gilmore Girls. I loved Gilmore Girls. I still love Gilmore Girls very, very much. Who else is around? Paul, take it away.
Hi there. I'm Paul Hutchinson. I'm the Career Readiness Facilitator at Learn. I also live in San Diego, but I'm originally from just outside Manchester in the north of England. My favourite TV show, I'm just trying to think about what might sort of translate to over here. I really enjoyed like Knight Rider and like A-Team and that kind of thing. So the kind of American shows that were from back home. So yeah, I'm going to go with those two. Let's go with I think Chris. I see.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Chris. I'm an assistant instructor here, and my favorite TV show growing up was probably Pokemon, or basically anything on Cartoon Network or Kids WB, anything like that. But yeah, this is a check-in, right? Feeling good checking in. And I'll popcorn it over to, we got Marquista.
Thank you, Chris. Hey, everybody. Marquista Davis here. I'm the enrollment manager here at Learn Academy from Miami, Florida. And I think in general, it was the afternoon lineup for me. Probably Pinky and the Brain and Looney Tunes with Marvin the Martian would be my fave. That's it for me. I think we're done with staff. Is that right? And I know that, forgive me if I mispronounce your name. I think Sosa, you had your hand up. I'll pass it over to you.
Would you like to share, Sosa? Oh, can't unmute, no worries. Well, so we're gonna popcorn a few people. If there's anybody who'd love to just unmute themselves and be our first one to go, we'd love to hear your answer, and then you could popcorn anybody else. Is there anybody that'd love to get us started? Michael, looks like your hand's up. Please, go ahead.
So I'm Michael. I live in New York City. I'm actually Dominican. My favorite show growing up was Tom and Jerry. That was when I was a little kid. Right now it's The Office. So who should be next? I guess anybody?
You can popcorn anybody you want. You have the power.
Samuel.
Hi, my name's Sam. I live in Denver, Colorado. Growing up, my favorite show was Smallville. I don't know if any of you guys seen it, but love me some Superman. I will popcorn it to, who is next? Oh, Brandon.
Yes. So everyone, my name is Brandon. I'm enjoying the nice weather here in San Diego as well. I have to agree with Michael over there. My favorite TV show when I was a kid was Tom and Jerry. Nice to meet everyone, checking in, and I will pass it over to, I guess, the first person I see. I'll pass it over to Alex.
Hey everyone, also from San Diego, and my favorite TV show growing up was Doug. And let's see, pass it over to Aleja. I don't know if she went.
Oh, Doug was such a good show. Hi, everyone. My name is Aleja. I also live in San Diego, but I'm from Colombia. And I think my show was Sabrina, the Teenager Witch. I was obsessed with that show. And I pass it over to, let me see, Isaac. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Hi, Isaac. You mean Isaac?
Yep, go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, I dropped something in the chat, but yeah, I'm Isaac. I'm out here in Seattle, and actually tons of the shows that have been named already I watched growing up, but I would say the one that I watched youngest was probably Garfield and Friends. And I will choose, let's see, who's left? I don't know, raise your hand or something.
If you don't mind, Isaac, yeah, I'm gonna step it. Jordan, if you don't mind, if you'd love to go, maybe your last one, and then we'll continue on. But it was so great getting all your answers.
Hello, my name is Jordan. I'm from Oceanside, California. I guess my favorite show growing up was Wizards of Waverly Place. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you all for participating. I really appreciate it. It's so good to get to know all of you a little bit more and just kind of get to know us a little bit more. So, but As we move on, I'd love to talk a little bit about us, about Learn, about how we got started. So a little bit about our story. We've been around since 2014, so we've been around since 8 years now. We have really humble beginnings. So a lot of us are headquartered here in San Diego. It's where Learn Academy got started. We started as an in-person program. We actually, our classes were just located right across the street from Petco Park. But with the pandemic, we had to make a lot of changes. And with that, we went completely remote. And now we offer a program all across the United States, but we've stayed true to our roots. We're big about community, and we're really big about helping career transitioners learn. Our entire staff is built by career transitioners, and we're really here to support all of you in your career transition, because that's what we're all about. We're about here to help you get jobs. So we have over 600 graduates now, and we have just about almost 33 states across the United States. So what's really cool is we've had this online program since about 2020. So in just about 3 years now, we've almost conquered the United States. So that's kind of cool. And we're also really big about diversity and inclusion, helping to promote more access to a tech career, especially for the communities and individuals who don't have the most access, is something that we're really passionate about as well. So helping veterans, helping underserved communities, helping other individuals get access to a tech career, that's something we're really passionate about. So we are really excited to have all of you here and help you all progress to the next stages of your career. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Marquista, our enrollment manager, and she's going to dive into the nuts and bolts of our program and talk a little bit more about how it works.
Thanks, TJ. Hello again, everyone. For those that I have met before, it's really good to see you again. And for the ones that I haven't had a chance to meet yet, hopefully you'll hear something great today, and I'll get a chance to meet you in the coming weeks. So let's start off by talking a little bit about how Learn is structured. So we are a 4-month live remote full stack web developer program. So what that means is for the first 3 months, you'll meet and you'll collaborate with your fellow classmates and instructors in our virtual classroom. So think a setup just how we are now. The schedule is full-time. So your classes are going to meet Mondays through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that's Pacific time. And so as you travel towards the East Coast in the US, that time slot will be 10 to 6, 11 to 7, and 12 to 8 for the different time zones. During the final months that you're in the program, you'll complete a remote coding internship with a tech company. And the goal there is to provide you with real-world experience that you can use to add on your resume, as well as mentorship as you're starting in your developer career. For the duration of the program, Learn does provide you with a laptop that has all of the software that you'll need for the Learn curriculum. And what we do is a few days prior to when your cohort is scheduled to start, we ship that out to you from our warehouse. Now, as TJ said, we know the whole point you would consider and do a program like this is to find a job in the industry. And so career services is an important part of the program. We interweave it from the first week that you're in the program. And the goal for us is to create a career plan that's unique and tailored to you, taking into account your prior experience that you're bringing to the table, as well as your career goals in tech, as well as to help you in finding a job after graduation. And one of the things that we are really proud of here at Learn is the community that we've been able to build and the level of support that students feel, not only as they're going through the program, but even after they graduate. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, how do you get started? Well, first things first, submit a complete application from our website. And if you're one of our applicants who's applying through the Vet Tech program, you'll want to be sure to submit your Vet Tech COE as part of that application. And once you've submitted the application, you will be prompted to schedule your admissions interview. A couple things to note there. We weigh both the application and the interview when making admissions decisions. And when it's time for your scheduled interview, that will be conducted via Zoom. And the goal is to learn more about you and your background, what you're looking for in a program and career, and to really make sure that the learning environment is a good fit for you and this career path, right, is a good fit for you. And while it is not a job interview, it's really great to approach it that way. Think of it as that first step that you're taking in this new career path for yourself. And then the other thing that you'll need to complete as part of the admissions process is our weekend prep course called Jumpstart. There's 3 things I want you to know about Jumpstart. One, it's an opportunity for you to get some of the front end coding fundamentals under your belt. Two, it's also an opportunity for you to meet some of your potential cohort mates as well as the instructors so that you can start building those relationships and networking. And three, if you're on the fence about whether or not this program is a good fit for you or this career path is viable for you, it gives you an opportunity to make that decision after having some tangible time and experience in the classroom. We actually do have a jumpstart coming up this weekend. So if you have availability and you're interested, I'll drop my email in the chat once I'm done speaking. Reach out to me. I'm happy to help you get registered for the weekend. And once you've completed all of the admissions tasks, the enrollment committee will meet, make a decision on your application file. And if you are accepted into the program, then we will send you a deposit request for the $500. Your payment of that deposit will, one, reserve your seat in the cohort, and it will also ultimately get applied towards your tuition. And it signals for us that you're serious about moving forward with the cohort, which is important because we do cap our cohort sizes. And of course, if you're one of our students who are applying through the Vet Tech program, this deposit does not apply to you as your tuition payment structure is handled directly through the VA. All right, so once you've been accepted into the program and you've paid that deposit, then onboarding would begin, and Vanessa will talk about that momentarily in more detail. So here at Learn, we understand that if you decide to do a program like this, it's not only an investment of your time, but it's also an investment of your resources. And so we have several financing and scholarship options that are available. On the financing front, we have relationships with several traditional lending partners. The way that that works is you would submit a separate application for that lending partner. Typically, you'll know whether you're approved within 24 to 48 hours. And if you are approved, the lender covers the tuition for the program. You would go through the 4 months in the program, have a 3-month grace period after you graduate, after which you would make small monthly payments back on that loan. Alternatively, we do have a payment plan solution through Climb that would allow you to spread apart that tuition across the 4 months that you're in the program. And of course, you can always pay in lump sum prior to the program start if that's preferred. One of the goals that Learn has, and that's really important to us, and TJ was mentioning this, is increasing access and diversity in the tech industry. And so we have several scholarships with that in mind, including a women's coding scholarship, a diversity coding scholarship, and our new Fresh Start scholarship, which is designed to help career transitioners in making this a reality from a financial standpoint who have that need. And that Fresh Start scholarship is funded through a $100,000 career transition fund that's designed to help support career transitioners, particularly across our next 5 cohorts. So we use military nomenclature to name our cohorts. So those cohorts would be Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, and Hotel. If you're interested in more details about any of these scholarships, again, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss those with you. In general, these require a separate application, and based on the number of applications we receive, we will make awards up to $2,000 for that women's and diversity scholarship, and amounts that are greater than that for the Fresh Start scholarship based on need. All right. Learn is honored to support our veterans community through the Veteran Employment Through Technology Education courses. That program, also known as Vet Tech, and we are a VA-approved vet tech provider. Quick caveat here, I'm going to start off by providing just general information about the Vet Tech program, and then I will spend just a couple of minutes explaining kind of where we are in the fiscal year, given some updates related to funding. So generally, in order to qualify for the Vet Tech program, you must not be on active duty, or you must be within 180 days of separation from active duty. When it comes to qualifying for the Vet Tech program, the VA will use your GI Bill benefit to determine your eligibility, but that GI Bill benefit does not fund payment for the Vet Tech program. And then, of course, once you receive a certificate of eligibility from the VA for the vet tech program, you would then proceed to applying for your program of interest and be accepted into that program. In this regard, if you have not received your vet tech COE yet, you can apply for that through the VA website. And I'm dropping that link there in the chat now. If you scroll to the middle of the page, you'll see that link where you can go and apply for the vet tech COE. Sometimes veterans do get confused between the GI Bill COE and the vet tech COE. If you have any questions as to which you have, you can always forward a copy over to me and I'm happy to verify that for you. The big thing to note there is that the vet tech COE will have vet tech in all caps in several places on that COE. So that's an easy way for you to differentiate as well. Again, for all of our veteran applicants, just like any of our other applicants, you would need to go through the admissions process and complete all requirements. One of those requirements is this information session here. So thumbs up, pat on the back, round of applause. You can mark this done. You've completed this. The one thing to really keep in mind though, is this next bullet. If you drop the program, or you are terminated from the program after you start, please note that there is an 18-month waiting period before which you would be able to access your vet tech benefits again. This is why we have Jumpstart as part of the process so that you can really get into the classroom, experience it, make sure it's a good fit before jeopardizing any of your benefits. And final note here, when it comes to the housing stipend, that basic allowance for housing, please note that because our program is 100% remote, that BAH is at the online rate and is therefore based on the national average. It is not based on where you are physically located or zip code. So please keep that in mind as well. All right. So as I was mentioning before, we are in an interesting spot here for fiscal year 2022 to 2023. As of April 25th, funds for the vet tech program, they have run out. So there's a few potentialities that could occur. There has been some action towards getting emergency gap funding in place. There's no guarantee there. If it is approved, then there would be funding available prior to the new fiscal year. As many of you know, the vet tech program was initially a 5-year pilot program, and there is legislation pending termed Forever Vet Tech to make the program permanent. That is making its way through Congress. By way of an update, last week, the bill effectively made it out of the House committee, and Chairman Boss has communicated that he is keen on it being brought to a vote quickly on the House floor. Again, if it's approved in the House, it would then go on to the Senate. If approved in the Senate, it would then land on the president's desk for signing. A big if and TBD as to if and when this occurs, but if it does occur prior to the fiscal year start, then there's a potentiality for funds being available prior to October. All of that being said, if these potentialities do not occur, then funds will be available in the new fiscal year, which is in October. What does that mean for you? You have one of two options. You can either, one, wait and see, right? If one of these potentialities occur, or wait for the new fiscal year. If you decide to go this route, the one thing to note is that our cohort that we have starting after the new fiscal year is our India cohort that's scheduled to start on October 9th. If you're looking to join that cohort, my recommendation is that you start the admissions process no later than mid to late August. All right. Alternatively, if you're one of the veterans who says it would have been great for the vet tech program to fund this, but what's more important is me getting started with this career transition, then Learn wants to be here to help support financially in that regard. So we are offering a 50% military scholarship that's guaranteed upon your proof of your military status. You can, of course, use your vet tech COE or your GI Bill COE to confirm that status. The way that that would work is you would then pay a $500 deposit if you are accepted into the program, and those standard financing options for the balance would be available to you as well. Again, if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me. Final thing, here are the upcoming cohorts that we have throughout the rest of the year. As you can see, we basically have a cohort starting every month for the remainder of the year. Admissions decisions are made on a rolling basis. We do have some spots available in our Delta cohort that starts on Monday. So if you have an interest in that, reach out to me as soon as possible so we can help fast track you there. Alternatively, for our next cohort, Echo, we will have a batch of decisions made on May 9th and then final round occurring after May 23rd. 2 takeaways. As you know, the admissions process is a little involved. So my recommendation is if you want to move forward with Learn in a future cohort, get started early in the admissions process to give yourself time to go through the different tasks. And number 2, I'm here as a resource for you. So even if you're very early in your exploratory phase of looking at different programs or have general questions about career transition, right, how to finance that, I'm happy to grab time with you and help talk through those things. Thanks so much. I'll pass it over to my colleague, Vanessa, to talk about onboarding.
Hi again, everybody. So I'm Vanessa, the operations manager, as I said earlier. I'm just going to run through some onboarding items that we require for all of our students to get done prior to the start of class. Let's see. Number 1 on that list is going to be student information. This is really important so that we can get laptops out to all of our students. Our laptop facility is located in Colorado, so we do have to send out all of our laptops. So that's a really important task to finish. Sorry. Number 2 on that list is Slack. That is our communication tool, so we have to make sure all of our students get signed up for that. Tuition options, we'll go through that together. Tutorials to work through before the start of class. We require all of our students to meet with our director of academic experience in a Zoom meeting, so we'll get that set up. And then we'll send out official documents through PandaDoc, and then we'll get a laptop shipped out to you. So those are all of the things we'll get through prior to the start of class. Next slide, please. So just a few things to keep in mind. Please provide an email address with us that you access consistently. We'll use that form of communication the most. So just make sure to check your junk mail and spam mail to make sure that you don't miss anything from us. We do reserve the right to rescind any offers due to unresponsiveness, so don't let that happen. Make sure you stay in communication with us. It's going to be really important during the cohort, before the cohort, after the cohort, to stay in communication with us. So just make sure that if anything comes up or you can't access anything, that you reach out to me and do your best to let us know what's going on so that we can help you move forward in the process for onboarding. I think that's it from me. I'll pass it over to Sarah.
Hi, everybody. I just want to give you a quick intro about me. My name's Sarah. I'm the Director of Academic Experience at Learn. And back in early 2018, I was exactly where you are today. I was deciding whether I wanted to change careers. I come from a non-technical background, and I went to Learn with the hope of discovering a career that I could be passionate about. And at Learn, I found that I loved the art of coding, but what I really, really found my passion in was Learn itself. The community and the approach to education from a very humanist perspective, and the mission of making tech more available and inclusive was the thing that I was missing in my life. So I started my journey with Learn by volunteering to help future students at our Jumpstart program, and then grow with the company over the last 4 years. And I'm now working with my 27th cohort. All right, so I want to talk about being in the classroom at Learn. Learn is a 16-week program, but the first 12 weeks are in the classroom. So we're a live remote program, which means our classroom looks a lot like this. All of us together in the same virtual space at the same time. So our program, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in the Pacific time zone. It's the only program that we offer. It's just this full-time immersive experience. And at Learn, we're a very collaborative environment. We really care about our students. We care about each other. These are our top-down core values at Learn. So you can expect that when you come into the Learn space, that we're going to hold a place for you where everyone in the classroom, the instructors and the students and the Learn staff and all the community members, that we're all coming together as a group of humans, which means we're working together and we're struggling together and we're supporting each other and learning from each other and challenging each other, and that everybody gets to move forward on their own learning journey. Because coding's hard. It's super hard, but it's doable. And if you're willing to do the work, then we are committed to helping you achieve that goal of getting your next job. Until really relatively recently, technology was made and used by a pretty small group of people who are largely made up of a single demographic. And while we can appreciate their contributions, technology is not just a hobby or just a niche thing anymore. Technology is integral to the day-to-day functioning of our society. Code is in our lives every day. Code is in your cars and credit cards, in entertainment, it's in medical devices. And of course, it's inside of your phone that has all of the apps that keep us functioning and connected to the world. I mean, everything that you do as an adult human, to apply for a job or open a bank account, apply for a line of credit, rent an apartment, buy household goods, travel, all of these things rely on technology that uses code to function. So technology is not a luxury item. It's crucial to the daily function of our lives. And if everybody needs to use technology to function, then we need a diverse group of people creating that technology. Because the decisions that are made by those who create technology affect your life. They affect everyone's life. And so at Learn, our goal is to do our part to make technology more inclusive, because technology needs all of you. And it needs diversity in every way possible. And it needs input from the people who use it, which is everybody. So just a quick rundown of a typical day at Learn. I say typical day, although every day is different depending on the topics that we cover, any guest speakers we have, things like that. But what's listed here is about what you can expect. You should think of the program as being in a very intense full-time job for 16 weeks. On a typical day, we open the classroom at or prior to 9 a.m. Pacific, and we encourage the students to sign on early and get settled in. We start promptly at 9 Pacific with a check-in, which is a lot like we did at the top of this session of asking a question and kind of popcorning around the room. And then we do a live lecture where one of our instructors will share their screen and create code. They talk through the process, talk through the vocabulary and concepts. And then after that, the students work on challenges in a pair programming setting. We take an hour for lunch at noon Pacific, and then the afternoon is kind of a rinse and repeat of the morning, and we wrap up our day at 5. On this slide is a list of requirements of the cohort. Most of them are pretty straightforward, but I just want to highlight a couple of things here. One of the most broad expectations in the classroom is that participation is required. Participation means showing up promptly every day. It means coding with your peers, engaging with the instructors, engaging with your classmates. It's asking for help and taking the time to help others. It also means that your camera is on so that we are looking at each other's faces, which allows us to have effective communication, both verbally and non-verbally. It also allows for accountability on everybody's part. This is not a class that you can do while your focus is divided or do part-time. They were taking a huge amount of content and we're shrinking it into a really short period of time, with the goal being that this turnaround can happen quickly and you can get into your next career. So it is an intense program and you will have to make sacrifices to prioritize your learning. But again, we hope that those sacrifices pay off tenfold when you're happily in a new job. The other part is that, as we touched on, Learn will provide a MacBook laptop for you to use during the cohort. Think of it like your job giving you a laptop. So it is expected that you use it. If you're not a Mac person, I'm sorry, but the technologies that we use in our program are integrated into the Mac operating system. So again, it's a requirement that you use the laptop we provide. Our team sets up the machine. So essentially when you start class, everyone in the cohort is working from essentially an identical machine setup, which saves us time with any kind of setup process or troubleshooting, and it just makes collaboration a lot easier and more straightforward. And that's it for me. I'll pass it on.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Chantel. I'm the Internship Program Manager. Like Sarah said, we are a 16-week program, and 12 of that is in the classroom. The last 4 weeks are our guaranteed internship that we provide to every student who comes through Learn. We've worked with over 100 companies to help facilitate this internship, and we're really proud to keep bringing on new partners all the time. Go ahead to the first slide, TJ. Thank you. This 4-week internship we found is really integral as the conclusion of your time at Learn, because it's a really great time to solidify the skills that you've spent 12 weeks in the classroom learning, as well as to get additional experience actually working on a dev team, working on projects that matter to the companies that are hosting you, getting on-the-job training, and seeing what it's like to actually put your skills to use in this environment. Our company partners understand the level that their interns are coming in, and they're there to provide mentorship, guidance, support as you're just taking this additional step in your learning experience on their teams. It's a great opportunity for our students to broaden their network and get mentors who will follow them out of the program, make connections with a company that may offer them a job, learn additional languages and technologies more than what we teach in the classroom. And it's a really awesome thing to add to your resume, your portfolio, your LinkedIn, that shows you actually have work experience and can make you a much more competitive candidate as you're entering the job market. Like I said, we've worked with over 100 companies. In fact, I think 144 is an obsolete number, and we need to double check that. We've been adding new partners in consistently, and we're very proud of that. Through our internship program, our average number is that about 25% of the students will get hired by their internship company. That varies cohort to cohort, some more, some less, but an additional 33% of students are offered some sort of extension from their internship companies. That means maybe some extra time, that could be a paid extension, a temporary contract, things like that. We are a React and Ruby on Rails bootcamp, but in their internships, students have the opportunity to learn tons of different tech stacks, languages, frameworks, etc., to add to their skill list on their resume. The list down below, I'm not going to read it all. Those are some examples of skills that I know our students have picked up in their internships and become proficient in. In the final weeks of your time in class, you'll have presentations about the company partners who have signed on to host the students from your cohort. You'll also get the opportunity to interview, generally with 3 to 5 of those companies. That one gives our partners the opportunity to assess who they might want to join them at their company as an intern, as well as gives you practice in the interview process before you leave the program. Our company partners will give us their preferences on who they would like, but every single student is guaranteed an internship. So we work with them to ensure that everybody is placed at in a position that they'll be successful in to grow their skills in an area that will benefit them most. The final week of class is available for students to work on internship prep. So if there's a new tech stack that you're going to be learning and using in your internship, you have that week to do some tutorials, get some guidance on it. Some of our internship partners will reach out and give specific tutorials, et cetera, that they'll want students to complete before their first day. During the internship, you are still a Learn student. So we do twice-a-week check-ins with the entire class, make sure that they are being showing up and doing the work that they need to do. Are they meeting their goals? Are they getting the support that they need to be successful? You're going to have access to mentors. We require every company to assign a mentor for the students to reach out to grow their skills, provide code reviews, things like that. In the classroom, it's very hard for us to show you an entire production level code base, but this is an amazing opportunity for you to see something that is running an entire application on a production level. And you're going to be able to receive feedback on your performance as a developer intern, as well as how your code is being written by that company. Additionally to that, many of our partners also provided opportunities to do more practice interviews, give you more feedback on your resumes, things like that, before you leave them and enter the job field. These are just a couple of the companies who we have worked with. You can find more on our website, but we're very proud to have partnered, like I said, with many companies over our history, with new ones being added all the time. These companies are vetted to make sure that they are going to provide good mentorship and good opportunities for our students to learn and grow in the time that they are there. So that way, when you are leaving Learn and taking your skills out into the job market, you are as marketable as possible as a candidate. I think, do I have one more? Nope, that's for me passing over to Paul to talk about being a good candidate.
Hi, yeah. I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Paul Hutchinson, the Career Readiness Facilitator here at Learn. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the other side of the curriculum, which is all about getting you that job, being able to communicate your unique worth as a candidate in this new field. So as I said, this curriculum runs parallel with the technical skills that you'll be learning in the classroom. So you'll be developing skills and tools that you'll need to have in position to be able, so once you've graduated the program, being able to communicate those skills that you've just obtained to people that are going to hire you is as important. So we'll teach you the tools really to secure that job. And yeah, having these in place before you leave us after 16 weeks massively increases the speed in which you get a job. So just as an overview, we will show you how to network effectively. We will spend a week in the classroom developing resumes, cover letters, etc., etc. I'll talk about that a little bit more about that in a moment. And then after the 16 weeks, you'll be working with Cumber, the Alumni Success Manager. She'll tell you a little bit about her role as well once you've graduated. If I could have the next slide, please. Yeah, so the career services input in class, some of the things that we do is we organise an alumni panel. So those people that have gone through the program and made a success fit, we invite them back to talk about their experience before, during, and after Learn, and also an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have at that point. We organise guest speakers to come in about things that maybe aren't covered specifically within the curriculum, things like design principles, accessibility, freelancing, those sorts of things. Networking is a huge part of this side of the curriculum. So using LinkedIn as a tool, RSVPing to meetups and tech events to build a network. We'll show you how best to do all of that. We'll also get you to set up a portfolio website, which is an important tool within the job search, being able to point to something and say, these are the skills that I possess, and having them all in one place is very, very important. We'll show you how to go about doing that too. Talked about Professional Development Week. That's in week 7. And it's the career services take over the classroom and spend an entire 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, just on those professional skills. And on day 1, we start to talk about ourselves as a web developer, thinking about the transferable skills from your previous work experiences and how they are going to get to a point where you have a unique proposition as an entry-level web developer. And yeah, just polish that unique story and your unique proposition that you will give. On day 2, it's all about the tools of the job search. We'll write resumes, cover letters that reflect the tech skills. So we'll be very pointedly looking at the web development. Day 3 is the technical interviews, where we set up mock interviews with the greater Learn community, and they help you experience some of the questions that you may get asked in an interview. Day 4 is all about the tools of the job search. We are very happy to have a relatively new piece of software that we're using called Prentice, and that helps you engage with the job search and helps us help you as well as you can organize your job search on that piece of software. It's yeah, very, very exciting. And then on day 5, we just help you kind of get all your things boxed off as well as have some more speakers about salary negotiations and other things besides. So it's a very full week, very intense week, but a very useful one, I think. Some of the job titles that you may decide to go and be able to apply to once you've gone through the course here with us. Just to go through some of the examples of the roles that you could apply to. Obviously, sort of developer roles and titles such as front back-end developer, application developer, data engineer, those kinds of titles. As well as on the sort of design roles side of things as well. So UI, UX designer, web designer, etc. as well. There's also the tech support roles. So things like a quality assurance engineer, technical support specialist, things of that nature, as well as tech adjacent roles. So that might be a project manager or a product manager and those kinds of titles. And I won't go through all of these in the interest of time, but just a couple of examples here of some of the paths that our alumni have taken. Just to highlight Michael G. He interned at a place called Cetus Media. He was then taken on full time there. He moved then to a different company, but then returned to Cetus Media as their manager of engineering. So there was a real sort of full circle there, and Michael is very much involved in our internship placements as well. Also, LJ, she interned at a place called Synced Up. She was then taken on full-time as a software engineer, and then recently moved roles within the same company as a project manager, and is now a sales coordinator at WebStacks, which is a dev agency. So there's a whole kind of range of roles that you can start to apply to once you've gained that experience. I think that is everything. I'm going to pass it over now to Comba.
Thank you, Paul. Everybody's feeling okay? My job is to land this plane and bring us here safely, and then we can take any additional questions that you have. As Paul said, I'm the Alumni Success Manager. My primary responsibility is to help empower, support, and advocate for LEARN's graduates and help them find meaningful employment, because obviously that's the point of this whole thing. You were free to work in the industry, right? And to also help find employment partners that are looking to hire junior developers such as yourself. I work with our students as strategic points during the cohort, and then that's going to accelerate upon graduation. Because one thing Learn tries to do very strongly is that once you're done with the program, we're not going to give you your certification and say, figure it out on your own. We will support you throughout that job search journey. As you understand, it can be very daunting, frustrating. So my job is to help navigate you through that whole process and support you throughout. And part of the things that I'll include is your job search plan, holding you accountable. Consider me like your accountability buddy, right? To make sure those things are done, whatever extra resources we may need, coordinating that whole process for you, helping you with increasing your network, making sure your portfolio is where it needs to be, making sure you're ready for those interviews that you're going to land. We hold some great workshop Wednesdays, making sure that just all aspects of the job search is where it needs to be, from your networking to your resume to your interview prep. And we're going to also send out resources to you on a consistent basis. New opportunities, networking events for our veteran students. There's tons of VA resources that's available to you that'll make sure that you're signed up for, that you attend. So this way we can maximize your opportunities to land that meaningful employment. And then just ways to keep your skills sharp. But most importantly, is to advocate, support, and be there for you. So I will call you, I will text you. So don't block us from communication as well. But I'm going to turn it over to TJ for any questions y'all may have. Thank you so much for being so patient. And we know this is a lot of information to kind of wade through, but we're here to answer any additional questions that y'all have.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kumba. Thank you, the whole Learn staff. Really appreciate all the information. I know, like Kumba said, we're talking a lot at you. So we'll give you an opportunity here to ask any questions as you start to think about those questions real quick. Just a few last pieces of information. So we are recording this presentation. We're going to send it out with a whole bunch of other follow-up information to all of you that attended. We also, like we said, we have Jumpstart this weekend. So anybody who can clear their calendar and wants to get started and start learning some new skills, we're going to teach you how to build a website this weekend. So even if you've never learned coding and you don't have any skills, Jumpstart is perfect for you. So after all of that, what I'm going to do is anybody who has any questions, please just go ahead and unmute yourself. We're here to just kind of open the floor to anyone. You can place your questions in the chat, and we'll just get these last few questions wrapped up before we call it an evening. So does anybody have any last minute questions we can help with? Please go ahead.
I have one for you. So if we have a certificate of eligibility, is there funding set aside for us, or is the funding already gone?
Great question. So short answer, the funding is already gone. So what has happened with the Vet Tech program is anybody who is currently enrolled. So if you are enrolled in a program, that means that the funds have been set aside for that individual to, one, have all their BAH, have all their tuition, and the program. So like Learn, for example, we would be guaranteed the tuition as well. So anybody who is currently enrolled in a program, so you have to be physically enrolled in a program, you have to be physically uploaded into the VA1 system, your funds are guaranteed. So just because you have been accepted into the Vet Tech program, just because you have your COE, it doesn't necessarily mean that the funds are guaranteed. You still have to physically be enrolled in the program to then have the funds be guaranteed for you. So like we said, what does that mean? That means that funding is either going to come back in October. So if anybody who doesn't know is unfamiliar with the Vet Tech program, their fiscal year runs October through October. So right now we're running from the 2022 through 2023 year. So 2020, that fiscal year funding has run out. It's just because as the program has grown, the popularity has expanded as well. So there's a lot of people who've been interested, and just with the funds they have set aside, that is depleted. So this happened about 1.5 years ago as well. Last year, they got more funding, which was super cool. We're hoping maybe more funding soon, but it's not something we can guarantee between now and October. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Just a quick question from DS about an extension in the 16 weeks. So the program is 16 weeks flat. So it is fast paced. It is an intensive program that is for a purpose, is because it's a quick career transition program. And so we fit a lot of information into those 16 weeks. So it's 3 months in the classroom, 1 month in the internship. And during the 3 months, you cover the entire full stack curriculum, which includes JavaScript, React for the front end, and Ruby on Rails for the back end.
I will add, though, that it is possible your internship company might offer you an extension for you to continue building your skills there, but that is dependent upon the company and their availability to do so.
Cool. And we just have one more question. Yep, Marquisa hopped in as well. So funding, BAH, yeah. So the funding and the BAH is all like lumped in together. So with the Vet Tech program, part of your benefit is the BAH and the tuition. So if you have been enrolled into a program, all of that is guaranteed to the student. It's just if you have not been enrolled in a program yet, that you'll have to wait until October or until funding resumes. We also, like we said, we're trying to help anybody who wants to start a career transition now. So we have some available resources available for anybody who's looking between now or October sooner. Cool. Any other big questions we can help with?
One last one here.
Yes, sir.
You guys were saying you guys will help with the half of the Vet Tech with 8K. Let's just say the bill gets passed where they get more funding. Do we get the 8K back, or is that out of pocket?
Yeah, so it would be out of pocket. So it's just an alternative to the Vet Tech solution. So like what we are offering is kind of separate from the Vet Tech program. So it would be out of pocket. One of the benefits though is you will still be able to have your Vet Tech benefits available. So if you find another program that you can add on top of what you've done here, it actually makes you even more valuable to what you have already.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. So all of us are, I'll ask this last question, but all of us are on LinkedIn. We're all super readily available. If you need to get a hold of us on any questions, we have a website chat. You can text us. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. Marquisa left her phone in the chat. Yep, we're all on LinkedIn, like Paul said. And just wanted to respond to Kat. Why online is to say we have to. So I'm not sure exactly what it says online, but our program is Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 for a full-time commitment. So we are on, so we are online, but it is a full-time commitment. So I hope that answers your question. Cool. So go ahead.
I just had a question. Over the course of the program, approximately how many projects are we looking to complete to put into our portfolio?
Yeah, we do lots and lots of projects. There are 3 larger ones that are full stack applications that we spend a little more time building out to completion, but we also just build lots of small projects that we encourage our students to go back and pick a couple that you like and polish up to put on your portfolio to show the growth of your experience. But you will have more projects than you know what to do with at the end of the cohort.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So if you have any last minute questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Like I said, we're all available: LinkedIn, website, phone. I'm sure a lot of you are already talking to Marquisa. If not, please, we look forward to seeing your application. We look forward to seeing you jumpstart this weekend if you could make it. And keep it on your inbox. We'll be sending out all this information along with the recording. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate your time here. And have a great rest of your evening.